always do it on my own, so I gotta get through it. And the only thing I know is to love what I'm doing. Never give up, never slow, till I finally prove it. Never listen to the no's, I just wanna keep moving.
Welcome back to the Romanian Reaver channel and my playthrough Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader. Pretty sure people in this area are speaking Italian. Which would kind of make sense for Low Gothic, because High Gothic's supposed to be Latin. Or Latin-like.
My apologies. 19% of my processing power is engaged in the analysis of my tech comrade's memory. My response time may be longer than usual. I was not knowledgeable as to how popular Blessed Amanat's teaching was in exploratory circles. The Cognizance fleet is massive. His ideas might have found a larger following on its periphery than in the Mother Squadron. The data is scarce. His identification code is the same as mine, and his memory contains data confirming that the assassination did take place. Unfortunately, some of his memory was damaged by pulses broadcast by his battle harness. I can assert with some confidence that he was who he claimed to be, and that, notwithstanding his permanent state of agony, he was not cognitively dysfunctional. His desire to immediately destroy the object he had deemed profane was partly dictated by his engrammatic augmentics, which were receiving imperatives from his battle harness. In light of the oddness of our matching identification codes, I find merit in his hypothesis as to the existence of a clandestine malevolent agent or conspiracy operating inside our fraternity. Of course, faith is dangerous. Faith is the prerogative of the spirit, and a spiritless mind is an enemy of all existence. Without faith, there is no meaning in anything, no point to any aspirations or limitations. But faith can take different forms.
And he means by spiritless mind abominable intelligence, pretty much.
The form of prohibitions established by unknown elders. The form of an audacious violation of those prohibitions. The form of following dogma or of schism. The form of following the cycle or of discontinuing the cycle. In a system with two courses of action, schism is inevitable. And only one of these paths will be true, as truth is discreetly separate from untruth. The Omnissiah has bestowed upon us the supreme mission, the quest for knowledge. The fact of its existence confirms that reason is yet to comprehend and quantify the universe in its entirety. This precludes the existence of any prohibition that could be considered universally relevant. No data available. I will hypothesize that the assassination was instigated by an enemy of the Blessed Amanat's doctrine. I accept the possibility that the assassins were targeting me, only to be led astray by Tarsus and my own identical identifiers. I am concerned about the fate of Archmagus Amanat. According to Opticon 2-2, he went missing in the wake of the incident on an Arch Mechanicus, the Hermetico. Information about that ship and its perishing has been purged from the archives. I accept the possibility. I will continue my research into the Blessed Martyr's memory with all due reverence. This statement is true. Algorithmic violations have been recorded. as a result of which I twice performed an offering to the cogitators of corrective data vows and ruled out the possibility of sabotage. I hypothesize that the violation is a consequence of the discontent of the ship's machine spirits. I recommend a procedure of placation of the honored spirits for the glory of the Omnissiah and the steel angels sent by him. May your labors be effective and fruitful.
That's a good way, or not necessarily a good way, but a nice way to end the conversation.
Words cannot describe how boring the bridge is without our stimulating conversations. Gifts? What do you mean? You can hardly ask me to speak to the feelings and intentions of another person. But since you asked, I think your friend should recognize the full gravity of the ritual. An immortalium is a gift of many meanings. It cannot be taken to signify only one thing. Is your friend willing to accept all its facets? Or only one? Or perhaps, is he unwilling to accept it at all? Then, according to the rules of the ritual, he must offer a gift of equal spiritual or material value in return. And if you... your friend is interested, tradition dictates that this gift be made through a third party. That way, the giver and the receiver of the gift maintain a balance in their relations. I would choose something that would touch the receiver's heart. Something that he or she often talks about, or dreams of. What? No, of course not. An immortalium symbolizes a beginning, a starting point from which a relationship between two people can grow, moving beyond polite indifference. For now, it is merely a seed that your friend will have to cultivate. And whether it will grow into poison ivy or a beautiful flower, only time will tell. One of the facets of an immortalium is an offer of friendship. If your friend intends to accept only this part, then he must, by tradition, make this known in a private conversation with the giver. Then, tradition dictates that he keeps the gift as a sign of respect for the giver's act of initiating the ritual. Apart from that, your friend should make no response. Sometimes silence speaks more at... I see people's emotions in the vivid spectrum of hues surrounding their essence, Lord Captain. And I understand everything. However, I have enjoyed this little game. I hope you have too. If you wish, Lord Captain.
Well, the only one I can really... Fuck me.
Lord Captain. A noble aspiration, Lord Captain. As you wish. Lord Captain.
Who the heck do I rope in? Him. She does like books. She didn't say anything about perfumes or treasures. And that's no. So this would have to be it. Okay.
Allow me to thank you again for helping me with the cargo, Sherin. I am sure the Ashmags who squirreled away my goods won't give up so easily, and I'll hear more about their scheming yet. Let's strike a deal, Sherin. I will watch your back, if you do me a favor and watch mine. Well, enough jokes. Is there something you wanted? The language on Ifrit, my home world, is quite different from the one spoken in the Coronis Expanse. We bestow more than one meaning upon each word, allowing our wise men to fully express their sagacious thoughts, and us lowly commoners our base passions and desires. Take Agi, for example. That is what I call every piece of scum and villain, because Agi means evil and foe and pathetic worm unworthy of consideration. Or take Ashmag. It means fool and little brother and blind man who stumbled and would fall into a pit without guidance. Shirin is... Shirin means friend and comrade and roommate in a battle formation, like we are. Oh, Shirin, I did manage to spark your interest. Allow me to invite you to a more
Oh god. Talking. A lot of talking. Hmm. And what did she give me though? Drukari weapon. Why do I get only Drukari weapons from her?
You are still here, Elantark. Yes. I am sometimes surprised by the depth of your knowledge of my kind's customs, Elantark. But even if listening is your only skill, that in itself elevates you above billions of other monkey. My meditation is immersion. Immersion into myself, my inner world. It is my chance to speak to myself, but without words, or to heal wounds that cannot be seen with ordinary sight. It is difficult to explain, even in the language of the children of Asurian. There are so many meanings and shades in its sound alone. And the monkey tongue is too sparse and awkward. No. Immersion must be seen to be realized. I should say, Elantark, that during meditation, the mind does not leave the body. Part of it remains vigilant, monitoring what is taking place outside. So I heard every word you said, and I saw it. Restraint is not a trait that your kind is known for. And yet, you did not interrupt my immersion, Elantark. A worthy act. I will remember this. Immersion requires concentration and unity of mind, body, and spirit. Entering this state unprepared, or coming out of it suddenly, can be harmful. What do I see? Your words ring with the desire to... You and I, Elantark, look at this world in very different ways. And I see many more facets, and deeper meanings, and brighter colors in it. But to capture the full truth of this world in the miserly language familiar to your ears, the minions of She Who Thirsts could sense my soul behind the thick walls and thin veil that separate your fragile lives from the roiling fury outside. A child of Asurian that dare to wander beyond the veil, within the reach of an outstretched claw, protected only. Our ships never venture beyond the veil, and I never traveled the way you do, monkey. Elantark, I admit this was a novel experience. I lost composure, let dismay into my heart, and almost strayed from the path. This moment of hesitation drew the attention of She Who Thirsts, but I summoned my will and use the knowledge of meditation to achieve balance. And hide my soul behind an impenetrable wall of resolve. Future journeys beyond the Veil will still be difficult, but I will steel my heart and not let the hounds of Cylon Thresh pick up my scent ever again. I refuse to discuss this with a monkey. We are but traveling companions who happen to be following the same road among the stars. Do not even try to get under my skin. It will not work. Is that snake venom seeping from your lips? We, the children of Azurian, are no strangers to the art of war. We are not raiders, or butchers, or least of all, fools. When a craft world is beset by calamity, its inhabitants do not start a war with every monkey in the sector. I am afraid your life is too fleeting, and your memory too... Different branches of the Eldari chose different paths to salvation. My ancestors chose an eternal journey through the starry void, living on craft worlds instead of real planets. We rescued countless wonders from the days before, but far from all. You saw this on the Lilithen. Not even we can always master the gates our ancient ones built. This is the story of the Azuriani. There are branches that chose a different path, gruesome and frightening. But I do not wish to tell you about them. That is our dark side, just as your kin have many dark sides of their own. Why ask this question? Is it idle curiosity, or something else? Do not turn your thoughts towards Cylon Thresh, whatever your motive. She is downfall. She is hunger. She is the enemy of all that is good in the universe. She is an enemy to the Eldari, and I hope to you as well. It is the bait with which the enemy lures you in, urging you to come closer, one step after another. Be wary, Elantark. Your intentions may be noble, but they are sending you down a dangerous road. Is idle curiosity a defining feature of the monkey? Or are you trying to learn about the weaknesses of my people so you can destroy another world of the children of Azurian? Cruderock cannot be described in your language. It can only be sung, encased in a filigree of sounds, a melody as complex and delicate as the Infinity Circuit, its energy network. It can be seen in the golden hues of sunlight, felt in the breath of celestial winds. Though it was an artificial world, it was just as alive as any real planet. But I must see clearly, not only light, but also shadows. I yearn to remember only Cruderock's beauty, but it had a dark side too. My world was isolated for too long. Like a lake of stagnant water, there was no movement or renewal, and even the sweetest outbursts of life soon turned fetid. Who knows? It is a mystery as inscrutable as the sigh of the last immortal, as deep as the waters of a dark ocean. And I can tell you little, for I was far away, on a mission with my unit. We returned at the appointed hour, but we did not find Cruderock in its celestial harbor. It happened many turns ago, or standard years, as you say. But I remember that moment as if it happened this very day. The memory of a loss is always stronger than the memory of a gain, especially when you lose something as significant. We searched, we called out, we looked everywhere, but we saw only emptiness and the echo of an echo of calamity. Countless days passed before I found myself on the Lilithon and met some of my kin. Those refugees who had barely managed to reach our ancestral planet. Their stories were far from being the fruit of truth I so badly craved. Those who agreed to talk to me were few, for most saw me as a wayward daughter who had spurned the honorable paths. And they would not stop babbling about the terrible disease that spread black tendrils of pain over the paths of the Infinity Circuit and deadened our world one segment after another. The ones who survived fled in fear and wandered between the stars, until the Lilithon's warm light reached out to some of them. Some, like Muaran, lay the blame entirely on Monkey. However, I do not know the truth, but I hope, oh, I desperately hope and pray to the gods that someday it will be revealed to me. Is idle curiosity a defining feature of the Monkey? Or are you trying... As you wish, Elantark.
Alright, this is actually the one where we needed to visit, so let's actually drop in. Hopefully for once it doesn't involve a gun battle. Let's give it some functional... Wait, what the... Okay, that explains some shit. Two-hander. It's a two-hander. I'll need to check that out, but... Oh. Really need to check that out actually. Okay, that's one piece of tech heresy.
How about no?
Hmm. That gives her some potency, at the very least.
I always have a backup plan. I always keep my options open.
This and that.
Is there money to be made?
Pain. Bureaucratically induced pain. But with that, we're gonna leave it off here now, ladies and gentlemen, because it is 37 minutes. Catch you guys and gals next time. Thank you for watching, or more precisely surviving up until this point, because gods know the editing's kinda interesting and my voice has a melodic tone to it. If you like what you saw, feel free to hit the subscribe button, like button. It does help out the statistics of the channel, gets more visible, you know, stuff like that. And to be honest, at one point I would like to actually make this a job so I can do better content with better quality, more games, more coverage, you know, stuff like that. Take care.